But with firms, we've realized that, hey, there's this kind of a tried and true what we want, what's expected. There's convention to some sort that if you break it, beware. Because you're dancing on a slippery slope. And it's a lot of the usual suspects. People want to see the stories of success and what people are talking about you as a huge part of it. Social proof is a needle mover, no doubt. Your wins, your verdicts, your cases, of course. Your practice areas are, the bread and butter in terms of from an SEO perspective and from even a lead gen perspective. So dialing in those, but from a navigation, I think they're pretty consistently the same across the board with what we do. That's one of the few areas that it doesn't seem like it gets crazy facelift, but I think it's mainly because when it comes to that kind of convention, user experience convention, like we don't want to riff there. So that part I think is fairly intact. I think it's mostly like what happens from the above the fold, what that experience is visually and aesthetically, and then obviously what the messaging is driving, and then just stacking that narrative to fit all of the extraction work we did to identify who that firm really is, what they're about, what they're really driving, what their objectives are. Just turns out most firms all have the same obvious objective, which is more intake and better conversions. And it's kind of surprising for us at doing the work that we do when we come into a new vertical or a newer vertical like attorneys and firms, and to see like, oh man, this is actually the space, the way agency have been treating this space, building these sites is like, it's a stale, out of date, not very like, there's not been a lot of attention to me, factors that really matter, that move that needle